A place of unimaginable beauty and a growing evil, where the forces of death and life are in constant conflict. For centuries, many have come in search of its power. Only to fall to its corruption. Lured by the promise of power and immortality, the darkness will claim you.
Maybe we'll we'll do this one and then we'll broadcast it.
Yes, we did it. All right. Okay, guys. Welcome to what we are calling New World Wednesdays. We're here. Everyone can hear us. I think things are working. Yeah. Okay. So we've got Peddler on my right, and we've got Tight Eyes with me as well tonight. Everyone knows everyone. Hey. Okay. So what we're basically going to be doing is every Wednesday around this time, we're going to be doing what we've called New World Wednesday. We're going to be going through some things tonight, such as what our clan's about. We're going to be looking back at the preview and how that went for us, and then we're gonna work our way back through basically the patch notes, because a lot of us haven't looked through them, or we've looked through them but not discussed them as a company. So that's kind of the rough plan for tonight. And what we're going to be doing going forward is, if and when the game releases, we're going to transition from talking about patch notes and things like that to things that are happening within the company in the game. And let's say we've claimed Everfall, we're going to be talking about things around Everfall and stuff like that. Yeah. What's up, guys? How, Moomy, Bricks, Banana, Lewis, Hunter, Ped, Tight. What's up, boys?
So can I just check one thing? Is it Wednesday today?
I believe it is.
Cool. Okay. Just checking. Just checking.
And,
are you sure?
And quick technicals. You guys can hear Tight and you guys can hear Peddler, right?
How's the lip syncing?
Is my camera not pixelated? Oh.
Yes. All right. So one quick thing on the stream, we're going to be ignoring the push-ups tonight. No timing out, people. No ad breaks. None of that shit. It's just a bit of New World. We're hoping it's going to last about an hour. You guys in chat, just get involved as much as you can. And yeah. All right. So we'll start off with the company. So as you know, our company is called Pyro Gaming. We were in one of the top 10 clans during the preview. All right. Happy days.
Yes.
There is links to that on our Discord and everything. So if you want to take a look at that, that was really cool. People put together, I guess, kind of a score based on PvE, PvP, and yeah, I can't remember what else they build it on, to be honest. But yeah, we were in the top 10. That was super cool.
Was that official?
No, it was unofficial, but
Right.
official. we'll claim it as official. That was we were up there. As you know, we're going to be having 2 clans. So in the preview, I think we had 4 in the end, and it become quite not unmanageable, but a little bit chaotic, and there was a lot going on. And what we want to do is tone it back a little bit for the actual game release, and just have super active people within these 2 clans. We're going to have Clan 1 is going to be really heavily PvP focused, as you guys know. And we're expecting people to be competitive, pretty active, understanding the meta really quickly, things like that. And Clan 2...
The Banana Zero RDER just for sub.
Ayo.
They have been part of the crew for 4 months.
Thank you,
Ahoy.
Mimi.
I
Ahoy.
had to give it to Banana. Come on, don't give Banana any freebies.
Thank you, man. Clan 2 is going to be kind of an overflow of the PvP, because I know there's a lot of us who are heavily PvP focused, but also hold our core of PvE crafters, cooks, crafters, that sort of thing. Do you boys have anything to add to those 2?
Well, I think.
In the...
Go on, you go, Ty.
Go ahead, Ben. No, you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
So I was just going to say, I think, as we evolve in the game, depending on how things are going in that second clan, I see people sort of rotating in and out. If they want a bit more hardcore PvP for a few weeks, then they jump into Clan 1. If they want to chill out a little bit and go and chop some trees down, which is always quite aesthetic and quite mesmerizing, then, they go and jump into Clan 2. But, when it comes to the battlegrounds and, the main, I guess, the key events, then, it's a case of pulling people from both clans, right? That's what it's going to boil down to.
Yeah.
I think as well, it's the organization. So for example, in the playtest, when we had the 2 clans, and one of them, we owned one territory with the second company, and the rest of them with the first company. It just got really awkward trying to bring people back and forth to each one. So I think just having the main one owning the territories alone is probably the best thing.
I think it'll be... I'm hoping it's going to be different in the actual game as well, because we were locked to that 4 p.m. time frame of every battle.
Yeah,
so we had,
exactly.
in the end, what we have, like 7 or 8 territories all having battles at 4 o'clock. Oh, we got Echo, have we? Echo! It's coming from you, Paired, at the moment.
Thank God it's not me. Oh my God.
Yeah, through Discord. I'll just turn
How
it
the
down.
hell's that coming through Discord? Oh, maybe. Oh, hang on. No, everything's muted. What's going on?
Is it coming through your camera again? Is it coming through OBS?
It's all muted.
Wise Crow, with the limited information that we have from the current alpha, do we expect to have Clan 1 fully quested for level? I think very quickly Clan 1 is going to be hard leveling. We want to be pushing levels quick, because we from the preview we know that we know that leveling quickly got us to the faction gear, and the faction gear was kind of very good for where it was and what it was, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to be hard leveling and finding out the quickest way to get those levels. Yeah, and then with the, like you said, with the new quests that have come out, we'll be pushing to get them done quickly. I think the one thing that we really enjoyed doing in the preview was working with the other clans. So getting to know the other clans within the Marauders faction, and
Yeah.
if for the worst case scenario we don't have 50 online, which I'm hoping we're going to, we've got some kind of backup there, so that's going to be quite cool as well. But 2 clans should do the job.
I think, look at how preview went, right? We started with 1 clan, and then there were, 4 pirate gaming clans on that server. So, I think we're definitely gonna have 2 legitimate clans. We might get a couple of fanboy clans. Danneh's got lovely long orange flowing locks, and that might appeal to some people. So, but yeah, I think part of what we want to try to achieve with this is, though, certainly whatever server we actually end up on, which will be the which will all be, so for the rest of us, we'll get on a server and Danny will get on the wrong server, and then an hour later he'll realise he's on the wrong server, and then he'll have to catch up like last time. But we want to try to include all of the players, the community on our server, right? So if we've got a load of marauders, then we want them to get involved with us, help develop the settlements, all that kind of good wholesome community fun. Or they're just all going to hate us, in which case it'll turn toxic. But hey, never mind.
Just there's a kind of some questions coming in. Like temperature, how many members do we have? Kind of some info like that. I know tonight 90% of us, I think, are from the clan, and we're going to keep some info pretty locked up, and we'll have some kind
Lock and key.
private kind of clan chats about, like, we had a very good launch strategy at the beginning of the preview that got us a couple of settlements very quickly. So things like that. But we're pretty much full in 2 clans. Yeah. Just to give that away as well.
But I think. But our strategy in the first one, I mean, I think that's just, it's not really a strategy, right? It's just fundamentally a race. So
yes,
it will all be about having maximum numbers in and going hard, and then doing what we did the last time around. But hopefully, I mean, we get to test a couple of, strategies, don't we, in the beta period anyway, if depending on how long that's actually going to be. So, we can kind of have a go, fail fast, and then learn from that, get in readiness for full release, right?
Yeah.
Agreed, yeah.
There's been some like internal ped wrong after get do mates when you're not chatting, mute your Discord because feedback's still coming through for some reason. It's kind of weird. I don't know why.
Bonkers.
Yeah. I think that lots has changed that we've known from this patch that we're not even covering tonight is that we zerged it, didn't we? We went to the highest level. We went to the highest level areas with the lowest level characters to try and kill everything as quickly as possible. So we're not going to be able to do that. So there's going to be some tactics involved around setting all that up and stuff. But that's kind of like the structure of the clan and how things are looking like they're going. So that's just a quick overview of us, where we're at, what we're doing on these New World Wednesdays. So the first kind of propaganda type content we're going to cover tonight is our preview video that we had just from the good times back in the preview. And what we're going to do is just, if there's anything you guys want to pick up on Ped Tie, I'll just kind of stop as we go along, see if there's anything interesting. Talk about maybe the fighting that we did, the open world PvP that we found, all that sort of stuff. Right. Transition, please work. Day number 1. Ta-da. Solid. All right, so clap planned at 50 still. Yeah, still planned at 50 as far as we know. Look at that, boys! Look at that map! So I'm just going to stop quickly and look through our. So for anyone who hasn't played the preview, I know there's a couple of us. Altair. This was kind of the map at the start of the game. Everything's white. Everything's fresh. I guess similar to the last Oasis area. Everything's white, and you get in there. You buy your first settlement essentially. And we managed to buy our first settlement, and these were that's me screaming my head off. And then these were some like the initial comments that came through. These were great. I like this one. Power Game members are so handsome and cool. I don't even know who this guy is. It is, mate. It's so funny. So this is what I was just talking about a minute ago. I think all of us got together and basically found out what it was like zerging in New World.
Oha. Abi yayına bakın hemen. Pirate Gaming'e bak. Pirate Gaming'e bak abi.
So this is one thing that's changed, right? The life staff isn't it's got a shorter cooldown, is that right?
I think it's got a shorter cooldown.
Short distance?
The teleport, yeah, it's shorter distance now, so it's not. I think it's by 30% or something like that, from what I remember reading. Could be wrong.
It's just laser beams. Bubbles if we can. If you're ranged, get up on the walls.
A lot of people.
Get up on the walls. Big kills. Focus the fucking kills.
Numbers,
If you've got a mine with you, place it. Try and place it on their staircases. Now we need bubbles.
So is there anything tight? Do you have anything to say at this point? This is fucking awesome. I love it.
As far as the preview,
Yeah.
as far as the preview, we nailed it. I don't know. Like, I think like when obviously when the game comes out, it's going to be completely different. So as far as like skill gaps and stuff like that, everything's going to change. It's going to be shuffled up. Like, you never know, we might go in there on launch and get absolutely smoked, but still we're going to kick ass in the same way. In defeat, we'll still kick ass. So
I was just going to say one thing I didn't do very well on was picking up I didn't do it. I just recorded things in the preview. I wasn't streaming or anything like that at that time. Maybe for some of you guys again who haven't played the preview, on the top right here, I don't know if you can see actually. Let me just bring that in view a bit more. Can you see on the top right where it says battle points, siege weapons, and siege parts? So, do you want to explain it, Ped? You might be better.
Am I still on mute? No.
No, you're good.
Is there feedback? Is that better? I just adjusted my mic.
you're good.
So, what was the question?
I was going to.
What's my name again?
I was going to see if you wanted to explain through like the battle tokens, the siege weapons, and the siege parts for those guys who may have not got involved in the preview before, or the people.
Well, I probably can, but you can actually jump in with accurate information because my memory of all the battlegrounds when we were talking about the tokens and the siege parts mostly involved you shouting at all 50 of us, saying who's got some bloody tokens and siege parts to buy stuff and fix stuff. So that's pretty much all I can remember. I mean, I do remember that you need the tokens to go and buy things from the shops, some of the weapons, some of the fire bombs you put on the ground, some of the potions. And then obviously the siege parts was that for actually making the like the
sorry.
the oils and things like that, the cannons.
Yeah, so I forgot actually. So you were hard on the fire staff.
Yeah.
In this moment, that's awesome. Hey, hard as hell.
Exactly. I was mostly dropping very large fireballs from a long way away.
Okay, so if you don't know what this is, so top right of the screen here, you've got battle tokens, which are 60, which I actually don't know how they accumulate, but when you're fighting and killing people, you get battle tokens, which just to the right of you see the staircase, basically there, and there was 4 locations around the fort. There was 4 locations where you could buy shit.
Corner, basically.
Yeah, so you could buy shit there, but we also found out that you could buy stuff at the flags, which was awesome when you were defending A, B, and C. So yeah, you get battle tokens to buy stuff. I guess I'm assuming siege weapons says how many siege weapons we've got left. That makes sense. And then the siege parts inventory, which I remember we fucked up big time on the first battle.
Yeah.
We didn't know what they did. So what the siege parts do is that they accumulate over time in one of these shop areas, and you use them to rebuild gates, or as far as I'm aware, it's just gates. But
I think you can repair siege weapons too with them.
You could repair the gates and the siege weapons because
yeah,
that's what we were. Well, we did. Well, the thing is, we didn't really repair the siege weapons that much. It was mostly repairing gates. in between you shouting at all of us.
hey, copper, and you get every time you get tokens as well. Yeah. All right. So this was like I think
Bubbling,
our first
bubbling. There's loads of them on point.
attack on a fort. This was great
Fuck,
fun.
they recapped it all.
Let me just go back to that quickly.
Fuck, they recapped it.
So again, from what I believe, it kind of instanced a certain area on the map, but you can still talk within.
So
Yeah, cool.
yeah, you can still talk within global chat and everything. I think the way they do that, it's so every territory basically has a fort by, like, close by its village or whatever it is at that point. And I think you're still basically in the server, but it's just instanced like a lobby, basically like a matchmaking lobby, and it throws you into it.
You mean you
What I
don't
would
get
like to see
teleported to Mars?
What I would like to see, though, honestly, with this is I would like to see it implemented into the open world, but there was some sort of barrier stopping people from going in.
Oh,
But you
spectating.
could go and visit. You could visit the fort though in the open world.
Yeah, you could visit it, but if you went there during the territory war, there was nobody there. Like, it was just, it's like a different part of the map altogether that you're actually playing in. It's the same layout and everything. It's just a different instance, let's say. Pardon me. But yeah, no, like, I think if they were to open that for launch and make it so that people could actually go there and see the territory war happening. Now, I'm pretty sure, obviously, that comes with its own issues with, like, stability and everything when it comes to the game. I'm sure that would jack anyone's PC up, but
Yeah, I can
it would be
imagine.
nice if they could.
Yeah, I guess just from a pure architecture perspective, and like, you know, if you've got 100 people fighting, then they can put you into a separate instance, can't they, where they've given it enough compute for 100 people and save a load of randomers coming along and watching. But yeah, I quite like the way they did the battlegrounds. I think they're going to be, especially as long as we can arrange the actual time for the wars and not have them in the middle of the afternoon, because that was super rubbish.
Yeah.
But just looking at the chat, Facepalm had quite a good question around how safe the areas of farmers will be farming in. That's going to be quite an interesting one, because certainly how we did a lot of our farming, especially for, sort of from level 35 to 45, we had that area up in the northeast, didn't we, where we did the really large group, and we just sort of bossed that area with the two bosses for hours. We won't be able to do that this time round, because anybody that's 5 levels out of those bosses is going to get absolutely walloped. So that's going to be quite interesting, the new farming dynamic. You know, whether there are actually any areas that we can go to and do the same sort of stuff. That would be very interesting, I think.
Just to go back on topic as well with the fortresses as well, I think personally, you know, the attacker's fort, say you're defending, you can see it there on the video that Dan has pulled up. The little circular thing above the fortress to the right is actually the fort, like the attacker's fort. I think that's way too close, because I think it needs to be spaced out a little bit more, because there's no, like, there's no breathing time between people hopping out of that fort and then being straight into the fight. I understand it as far as balancing goes, but I think there's just not enough room there, you know?
No way, man. That's perfect, because those of us that like the big red fiery stuff can lob siege bombs from the front of the battlefield.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's perfect. Like, I wear cloth armor, for God's sake. Like, anyone breathes on me and I die, so I need to stand right at the back, lobbing big round fire bombs on people's heads.
But it's late game that I'm thinking of. Like, so for instance, sorry, Dan, but it's like, say for instance, we're attacking a territory at one point, and it's just total mayhem. It's kind of a sweaty fight. You can literally AoE the hell out of every single door on that place, and they're the only exits. You have to exit out of one of the doors, and then once you go outside one of the doors, you just get absolutely piled on. I think it needs to be further back. There needs to be some sort of balance there for the attack, because that one defense we did for Everfall towards the end of the playtest, we pushed them all the way back. Like, we broke the doors down on that fort.
Yeah, but that was because we were dominating.
The
It's
only,
not because
the
of
only,
the game
the only problem
mechanics.
is, we can't change the way the map layouts are. We can just use and abuse them and love them. So yeah, if it's close, we're gonna have to make do of it. Copper just said the battlegrounds will always be a prime. The issue we had in the preview was that they were locked because every single day there was a fight, and there was a 12-hour cooldown from when you could change the time of when the battles were. So everyone was fighting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it was really difficult. I think Titan nearly lost his job making sure that he was in the fight.
I did.
Yes,
One day I had a broken ankle. Next day I was fucking dying with the flu. So it just had that effect on me, that game.
Yeah, isn't there supposed to be there's going to be a cool off period now, isn't there, between wars? I thought that was being introduced.
Yeah, I think so, because I think that was a bit just get
They
everyone stuck
condensed
in
it for the preview, didn't they? So
yeah. How's asked, do we know if they've added mounts? I think they've teased it, haven't they? In the
I think
future,
that's the plan, isn't it? Yeah.
in the future, it's going to be a thing.
Actual mounts. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so adamant at the beginning not to put them in.
Maybe they'll
I
bring
think,
some
yeah.
dragons for you, Tight.
Oh, don't even go there. Don't even go there, man. You get my hopes up. And my hopes are already up for this game's release. Don't get my hopes up.
So
I think they've capitulated to the crowd, haven't they, on bringing mounts in? Because as irritating as it was running all the way up to the north and in my paper armor and getting blatted by high level mobs and mostly sulking because it took forever to get up to the north to then come and level, it was quite cool. Like, if you've got a mount and you can do it a lot quicker, it kind of takes the fun out of it. Yeah, in my opinion.
I do agree with what Copper says there as well. They do mounts will change the strategy of a lot of things, including PvP. Like, there's one thing that I hate about ESO, like Elder Scrolls Online. Like, the mounts in that game, if you have been a long-term player, so the way it works is you can upgrade your speed on your mount once per day, or stamina or health, whatever it is. But what ends up happening is you have a bunch of people that have played the game for a long time and kept up with that. And then you've got other players that are just trying to play the game. You know, you've got your casual players. And the casual players will never be able to keep up with the people that play the game a lot and have their mount fully upgraded, the speed upgraded, because they can just run off on their mounts, or they can attack them and the other people can't get away. So I think mounts are in order to get them right, it's very hard. I did like the fact that the game didn't have mounts, but I'm sure I won't disagree with them being in the game neither. Like, it will still be decent to have them, but
we also have no full info on that, so it's not.
Yeah, exactly. So that it's just up in the air.
So I wanted to pause on this screen to just show the map off as well, because even though we know the map, it's good to actually see it from a bird's eye view. It was like A, B, and C. Those are the points you had to capture if you were attacking, defend if you're defending, and then this kind of circle here was where you would spawn if you were the attacking team, and here's your fort if you're the defending team. So yeah, that was that. Let's see what else is good in here. This is me crying because I died.
Guys who are in there, just focus on kills for now. Focus on kills. Let's fucking get their spawn points up. Go on. What we need to do is, if you've got bombs. What?
So I believe a lot of this fire is coming from the fire bombs. Ped, did you cause this?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, the beauty of this is where being a paper thin fire mage sort of came into its own, especially on base defense, because if you've got a well organized, but effectively like an artillery line, you can drop those. You can actually, standing in the rear doorways where the 3 doors to the rear, if you stand in them, you could launch a siege bomb out of there with just enough trajectory so that it would land straight on the inside flag. So you could have, 3 or 4 or 5 fire mages back in the pocket, just lobbing these big fireballs in every sort of 10, 20 seconds staggered. And you've literally just got permanent fire on the spot. So it's pretty good fun until you get killed because someone realizes you're there and they just breathe on you and you die.
This is what I like to see. Look, Hunter, there he is in chat, in the screen, getting fucking stuck right in. Love it. Love it. Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for me in these battles was the energy.
I mean, there's not a good territory war without you busting your vocal cords shouting at us. Like,
yeah, Wisecrow, my character was all-out intelligence fire stuff, so I was doing as much spell DPS as I possibly could. And yet, people like Nox and they were all playing hardcore melee fighters, and they all kept getting like the best intelligence drop items and keeping them because they're horrible people. Like, one of them got the best mana regen ring you could get, and I'm like, I drink a lot of mana, and I was like, give me the ring, you evil person, and he didn't give it to me. So yeah, I was a sad panda.
it wasn't what it like, was it?
So I remember we found I don't know if it was you, Ty, actually, but we found a lot of kind of farming areas up here, didn't we? Do you remember there was 2 camps, and you and Paul?
Yeah. So yeah, up by the. So if you go past the chapel up here, so there was an area that you could place your tents by the chapel, like just below the chapel, and then there was one further up where I call it the dolmen. I always have that word in my head. It's not a dolmen, but the big, the portal things in this game. I don't know why I can't ever think of the real name because I'm just stuck on
the corrupted portals you're talking about.
Yeah. You see, they're called. There's exactly the same as Elder Scrolls Online.
Right.
The only difference is on Elder Scrolls Online they're blue. That's the difference. That's the difference. So,
Copyright.
Hang on. Isn't the whole reason he's got this clip paused here and he's asked you to give some spiel because he's about to show us where he did that 1v1 when he had 0 health and he pulled out a hatchet and gave it Barry Biglicks with his hatchet. It's like, yeah, boy.
What I was going to show you was
that's why he's
I was
marinate real quick.
I was going to go through the PvE greatness of us zerging PvE zones together. And again, if you haven't seen it, you're getting hit by what looks like gigantic balls of dung, flying in your face. So it's like, it's great. High tier zones are great. But this was quite fun.
Cool. They were cool. Was that the one where you kept having to go through the town and you could get up on top of the buildings? And then you could live staff across the buildings. That was a good spot for farming, definitely. Yeah. But I think come release though, that will be really difficult because we had quite a few low level of the guild, the company with us, didn't we? Yeah. And if you go up there, it's 5 levels below, you're insta popped. So
I was just going to say as well, like you've got Henning here, and he was from Reign of Chaos. So what's quite cool is, we've split it down into smaller groups. I think there's like 10 of us at this point. Yeah, Moomy, yeah, exactly. And just grouping up with people from the faction, and I think that's something that we're really keen to do as well. Is just be very inclusive of Marauders and not be like, separate clan from Marauders, but very inclusive.
Exactly.
Get that community going.
Even the opposite clans, like as long as they're not toxic. I mean, if they can respectfully take a beat down, then it's okay. We're on good terms.
I think this was the one time I did well throughout the entire preview on my own. Just basically finishing off very low health people with my hatchet.
Oh, here we go.
Don't worry, I'm going to let it play through. Don't worry, I'll let it.
Good on, everybody. I got my hatchet out.
You should have seen how proud he was when he was editing this video.
Right on the music, Sounds great. But I don't think that's not going to be a thing anymore. So that will go down in history for me. That'll be in my memory bank forever. So this was one I wanted to just quickly touch on and make a very clear point that people who are going to be in the clan and fighting with us is that all fucking fun and games and just banter and good laughs, but when we're in the battles, still have fun, but I really want to win. So we were trying out random things like this, you know. The first battle we had, I remember personally not being able to get through the gate for about, I felt like 2 minutes because there were so many people just ramming into the gate and just couldn't get through. So we all lined up at the gate to try and go through in single file.
That was funny. I'd say to min-max, we'd probably need like 4 lines against the gate, just so it wasn't one person at a time going through, because right there we were role-playing. That's all we were doing.
Yeah, that first battle was I think like Headless Chicken were more organised.
Yeah.
Because I was,
we had absolutely no idea.
Yeah, we did. That's the thing. Like, and that's what I learned the painful way that being a fire mage. So if you're like, yeah, you can't PvP with a fire mage in these things because you want to have maximum damage. So you just get absolutely spanked. So Danneh put me in a team of 5 that were all out and out PvP, like melee PvP, and I ran into the first battle with them, and literally, I think I got one-shotted or something. I was like, okay, this sucks. So then I just hid at the back in the bushes and dropped big fireballs on people's head, and that was way more fun.
Yeah.
So I've stopped here. Again, I think a lot of us figured this out at the end, or in halfway through one of the battles maybe. But these barrels were awesome, and my quality's shite, I know. But down in the bottom of the smoke there, you can see one of our guys placing the barrel on one of their siege weapons. This was a huge part of us kind of controlling this battlefield. Was when you started to see 2 or 3 siege weapons start to be placed. It's mega important that whether it's your group or the whole group or whatever covers that person to get that barrel down, because it one shots the siege basically, and that was super cool. So yeah, the whole sort of teamwork thing was really cool.
Who was it? Me and somebody else, the little search and destroy squad. We just kept running around with the bombs, blowing them up.
Ped, there you are, mate. I'm pretty sure that's you flying through my screen with that ball of fire there. Slow-moed it down. I think that's one of your flame balls flying down the battlefield.
Yeah, the siege bombs. They are in the battleground. They are awesome.
Did you? I mean, I know we weren't going to talk about current patches because we're going to work our way to it. But did you read that they've removed smoke bombs from the arrow?
Did you read that they've removed the bubble, the protection bubble?
Oh, that was my thing, man. That was my jam. Bubble, bubble, bubble.
Bubbling. Yeah, that's gone. Apparently, anyway, I don't know. It's coming back.
No, surely the bubble hasn't gone.
So, I can't remember who I was talking to earlier. Somebody told me earlier. I can't remember. Sorry.
That is literally us screwed. No, to be fair, we didn't use that bubble until about the third war. Now. We didn't use that as a tactic until about the third war, I think.
And it's important as well because I realised here I was blocking allied shots coming in to attack. So I was just getting in there screaming.
You were giving the melee a place to fall back, though. That's another thing. It's very situational, but it does help either way. But yeah.
Now, damage on B.
Do you remember our little routine outside Everfall that one day? It was literally like a 30-second training program with the bubbles. We got like one person on each team. We were getting them to run to each side of this triangle that we'd set up.
Yeah, I agree. We should have a special guest Banana in 1 week soon. Facecam Banana. Imagine if he comes on dressed in one of them banana suits.
No, just put a picture of a banana in the window and let him voice over it.
just his eyes
the banana will be more attractive. In fact,
Final
put a
review.
picture of banana and let Tots talk over it, and then we can tell everyone that that's really banana.
Back on topic. We love you, banana. Moomy, yeah. Here are the mines. So, one thing we also found out, and I saw it on one of the other clans' videos, they filled the entire of the fort, like
Yeah, it was
stacks
nuts.
side by side, and they caused the chain reaction. So one set off the other. So one mine set off about 100 mines. So these were quite cool, and I don't really mind them. I don't think mines are being stacked outside here, but in the fort, yeah, make sure that they're spread apart. But these were a real crucial part, I think, because when someone got set on fire by the mine, I mean, when it happened to me, I just shit myself, you know, and I'd start retreating a little bit and try and put the fire out and stuff. So these were an awesome part of the old defense there.
That's another thing you were screaming at us about, actually, now that I remember. Mines, keep on your mines.
Yeah.
There's mostly screaming when we're in a battleground with Danneh.
Oh, it's great. It's... Who needs like 10 cups of coffee? Just get yourself a Dan.
So the reason kind of showing that was I wanted to just make sure that people understand what they were getting into. I mean, I know 90% of the people here are joining our clan, so beware. We're going to be shouting at you. We're going to be screaming. It's going to be good fun. Hype, hype, hype. Good stuff. Okay, so now we've gone into the open world PvP, the glorious unethical there, and balance. So these guys were our kind of top competitors, and you can see that. Look at his level compared to the guys that we were here with. The Tempest was, I don't even know what I am, but 38, 37. They were very good at leveling, weren't they? I think compared to us.
Yeah, but they were very good at leveling because we absolutely walloped them in a couple of wars, and then all they had left to go and do was level. So, you know, we broke the spirit early.
Yeah.
And we were outnumbered in this fight, and we still won, outnumbered and outleveled.
So
just saying,
this isn't this wasn't supposed to be like a boasting sesh, but what I was going to say was that
of course it is.
What I was going to say was that getting everyone together on Discord and getting that hype and working together showed that even if you were out leveled slightly at the start, you could still do well if you had that kind of synergy between each other, and that kind of seemed to work well for us. Mate, wasn't there a stat of how many people got eaten by alligators during the preview? I think it was
they dropped that. There was a lot of alligator deaths. I think I contributed to about 5,000 of them.
I mean, they were strong though. Like, them things hit you and just ripped your health. Whatever type of damage they do, armor doesn't matter.
And if they're 5 levels above you now, then I think they'll insta-kill you, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, we shouldn't be talking about the newest patch, but in one of the patch notes, I think it's even if they're 3 levels now higher than you, or no, actually it's 10 levels higher than you, but every 3 levels it gives points to its armor rating and its attack damage, which is actually kind of insane because they've buffed anything with a red skull now. You just do not want to touch. So,
Wisecrow's asked about.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Wisecrow's just asking here about the alpha. I don't think many people, if any, really from the EU are in at this point. As far as we're aware, it's mostly in America, and well, they said that they're releasing alpha for EU
at the end of this month.
Yeah, so hopefully some of us will get in and we can start figuring things out and shaping it for the better. Yeah, there's you, banana in lights. Love it. But this is what, you know, a lot of people were scared weren't going to be happening in the game because people were not going to be toggling on PvP. But when it happens, it's so much fun. Win or lose, man, it was so much fun.
Yeah. I think that the whole prone mechanic in this game is, I love it too.
Yeah, because
I love it so much.
I remember there was times we were like, hit the deck, and we'd like, because your name tag disappears, right?
We'd be in the brush, and like it basically, I don't think it makes your name tag disappear per se, but I think it lowers it to the ground to the point if you're in the high grass, it like covers it. I think if people are still up close to you, they can see you. But just to have that in a game like this, you would never think, like looking at this game, you wouldn't be like, oh, there's definitely a prone mechanic in that game. You know what I mean? You wouldn't think it, but there is, and it works really, really well.
There we go. Live. 94,000 players killed by alligators in New Era preview. Fantastic.
Wow.
That's so cool. Just a quick shout out to our mega crazy Russian here. Love you if you're out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Hopefully see you in the game release. You fucking legend. See you then.
I think that lad had every single weapon in the game. I'm telling you.
Come on, boys.
Our Tots has just confirmed that. Yeah.
It appears 5 minutes. All right, so it did actually get rid of the name tag then. Okay, that's really good then, I guess.
I really like this. You know,
Fine.
supporting each other with your like CC abilities. This was great, and
Yeah.
this is what really got me excited about using the hammer. Was you see someone?
I think that'll be quite cool for PvP this time round though, because people that actually spec their life staff to actually be able to heal will actually now be able to add value in those fights and heal properly, because they've changed quite a lot of the healing mechanic, haven't they, for the better?
Yeah. There's some really, really, really nice passives in the healing tree now as well. I think it was Tempest was saying there's a healing ability there that it like leeches on to three people. So like if the first person that you heal is under 50% health, it will then leech another heal onto a person within 8 meters of him if they are also below 50% health, and then to the next guy. And it'll do that. It'll do
I can't
that
believe
3
you didn't.
times.
I can't believe you didn't get a picture of me, with my kit off.
Oh yeah. Yo, cross dressing ped, man. I love it.
I'm gonna have to make that character again. Don't know how I made it, unless it was a complete glitch. Glorious.
I think this was my. I know there was a lot more competitive clans out there that we didn't get a chance to kind of come up against and stuff. But this for me was like the greatest week playing with you guys. You know, this comment at the bottom here. Oh, you can't see it. There we go.
Why can't we all get along?
Just great fun. So, yeah. I was just going to finish up on the preview there. I was saying like so much has changed since the preview. This was just a bit of reminiscing, since most people here are from our company. Just fucking awesome boys. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, that was ace.
Just think 12 months ago, we were all getting ready for that closed beta, and then the zombie apocalypse hit.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to delay releasing the game until later in the year. And then we were like, oh no. And then we got the preview and it was like, this is awesome. And then it was like, okay, we're going to release in Q1 next year. We're there now. It's not here. How long we got to wait? How long we got to wait? 5 more months.
But you know what I will say? I honestly, from the content that they've put out so far, I am actually glad that they've done it. Genuinely, because that stuff, I don't think that stuff would have came into account. I don't think we would have got as much content as we're getting now if they did release it.
I think you're lying. It's all because you haven't got a computer. That's the only reason you're glad it's not out now.
You're not supposed to say that publicly, because then... I'm just trying to be nice, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
Amazing.
All right. Yes. So that's the preview. So this is. I guess this is where we're going to start to look through these patch notes together. So we're going to work our way back to the future. So we've gone all the way back to November, where they released essentially what is ReekWater, the fishing, and some other stuff. Yeah. Anything to say, boys, before I crack on starting through this?
I'm looking forward to spending hours of my life fishing and then chopping trees down. I'm excited
And I'm
about
gonna
that.
be honest, I haven't read these patch notes yet, so this is going to be good for me.
Awesome. Peddler fish.
Yes, banana. Peddler fish, and yeah. It's like Sea of Thieves in New World. I mean, it's like a match made in heaven.
I hope it's as rewarding as chopping a tree. You know, like good sound design.
Oh no, that's the latest. Is that not the latest patch where they're talking about the armor?
Yes, that was the latest one. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
New fishing
we'll leave
poles
that.
and stuff.
We'll leave that until later on.
All right. Just a quick one. How's the transitions? Looking good? Feeling good? Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Put a lot of effort into that with my royalty-free sound effects there. Love it. Okay, let me just make this a little bit bigger. So, so back to November. Secrets of the Swamp, November Alpha update. Yeah, let's read through it. Greetings, adventurers. We're excited to announce the discovery of a brand new zone, ReekWater, in this month, November's month's Alpha Test update. Veteran adventurers level 58 to 60 can challenge themselves in the swamps of ReekWater. Does that mean it's like... So Ebon Scale has been released as a level 51 zone. Does this mean that it's a level 58 to 60 zone? I assume so, right?
I think so. Yeah, it was a high end zone, wasn't it? Just in the southeast corner, where we had the big yellow wall because they hadn't opened the zone up.
Solid.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, so they can challenge themselves in the swamps of ReekWater. Here we go. Is my English coming to dilapidated fishing village?
Dilapidated.
Dilapidated fish.
Do you need me to translate for you?
Thank you, teacher Ben. That plays home to a new set of foes. And what would a fishing village? What would a fishing village be without, well, fishing? We're pleased to introduce fishing as a new trade skill, plus some fishing poles for engineers to craft. Sweet. This release also brings some quality of life changes. Yes, we can fish with adjustments to enemy AI and difficulty levels, combat UI, and more. All right. I'm not going to read
what
through
is
this.
it? What is it? What? No, don't, because that'll be painful. What does it all mean? What does it all mean?
Yeah. All right. Let's have a look. I haven't actually. I think I looked at this briefly in November, but not in detail. Okay, so ReekWater story quests. New quests and NPCs will lead you on a path to discovery, to discover the origins of these Azoth-infused waters, the life cycle of dryads, and the role of ancient guardians played in fusion of turn. Okay, so this is kind of cool. The new enemies: swamp dryads, undead pirate brute, swamp fiends, creepers, elders, the protector of the source. I'm assuming, yeah, he's a boss. We didn't get to see anything. Well, we obviously wouldn't have seen any of this. We'll be back in the preview.
So yeah, because where's ReekWater's next to? What are the two settlements either side of it? Because the one that you had to run through to the east on the doing the the quests that involved running between settlements, delivering the delivery quests, which they nerfed massively in the preview, if you remember, because that was the way to level very, very quickly. So yeah, if was it Weaver's Fen? Yeah. So hopefully, because it looks a bit like Weaver's Fen, and like for whatever reason, Weaver's Fen was really broken. Like models weren't being drawn. There were NPCs floating in the air, and they should have been in huts, but the huts weren't rendering, and I had lots of.
I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, Weaver's Fen
Now
was
that you
in
say
a pretty
that,
bad way.
Yeah.
Can I say the fishing pole line again, like the YouTube video?
He wants you to read it in your ridiculous, game show
My voiceover
host
voice.
Except that would involve you having to read.
I struggle with that, man. It's not my strong point. Yeah, Liv said a fun fact from the preview is that 430 million hemp was gathered. Excellent.
Oh,
I
I love that hemp.
I gathered a lot of hemp. I was I think at level 275 gathering by the end.
Excellent.
I gathered some serious hemp.
Oh shit! The
Madness.
game plan is getting spoken. What we're doing in this, Sylvan, is we're just kind of loosely speaking about what's going to be happening within our company, and also reviewing some of the older patch notes together as a clan. Because I think we've done it individually, but coming together and doing it together as a company, and kind of trying to make it a fun way. But yeah, I think it's been confirmed that, and if you look at the Studio Loot's New World Fans website, they've got the gathering points, the nodes, all that sort of stuff in this area here. So you can kind of see, if I zoom in, that's not in. If I zoom in here, you can see like the start of the map being drawn there, and here as well. So this is where ReekWater is. And while we're here, for those who didn't see the video, the transition's not good on here, is it? There it is. That's where Eben Scale is going to be. Seizure alert.
Is that definite? Is that marked out now?
Not exactly marked out. That was my Photoshop job. But what they've said is it's north of Monarch's Bluff and west of Brightwood. So
Okay, it can only really go in one place then.
I took it upon myself to draw this area. Yeah.
At least you can do a compass. You know the points on the compass better than you can read, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm on that. I'm on top of that.
The interesting thing about that though is now Everfall and I guess Brightwood are like centered more so than ever now. So it only makes Everfall and Brightwood more valuable.
Yeah, 100%.
With that information. Like having that central point there, it's kind of exciting, really.
Everfall, our baby.
Everfall was our baby.
Altair's asked, you guys also said we would have PvP groups and PvE ones. Is it possible to do both? Yeah, absolutely. The reason we've kind of separated is that we've got like a clear focus on people finding out the meta behind, the current meta behind the PvP and sharing that with the rest of the clan. And again, with the kind of crafting and gathering side is, these guys can kind of focus on that and then share the information back to the company. So we've not got, someone trying to learn all the skills and learn to hard level. We can work together as a company a bit better, separating that out. Obviously we're still hoping for some sort of clan, guild, bank, company bank that we can share resources a bit better between each other, but that's the idea behind kind of separating.
Yeah, I think, and also with those 5person instances, then you're going to be able to do PvP and PvE, and like Banana said, if you go out in a 5-stack and you need to do some PvE, that's fine. You just go out flagged PvP as well, and invariably it will find you. And then you can call for backup if it goes really bad. I think that's the beauty of the preview, right? There were so many of us around 24/7. If you need, people would jump, say they're getting attacked, and then people would charge off to wherever that was to support. But the gather is also gonna, I think the beauty of that PvP flag is that if you do need to go and do some gathering, you can just turn it off so you can concentrate on doing the gathering.
Yeah, even so, what Kenny said there as well. Like one of the best things about, at least in the preview, I don't know if this is all going to be changed, obviously, but with the amount of PvE that our XP levelers, like our combat guys, were doing, you were pulling in all these resources that you just really weren't using at the time for crafting. So like funneling that in, that's kind of one of our ideas with the second guild. Obviously with the first guild, when we're all power leveling, all that excess stuff that we pick up along the way, we're just going to filter it down into basically the crafters, which goes back to Dan's point. It would be nice to have some sort of guild bank or something like that, but I don't know if they're planning to do that or ever going to have something like that in the game. But
yeah,
to be able to offload that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to say that's it. It would be cool to have that, but if you don't have that, then it's kind of almost even cooler not having it, right? Because it's the easy answer.
Exactly.
Just give a big repository for everyone to dump their stuff in. Whereas now, you remember how annoying it was with your satchels filling up with stuff and then just being heavily laden, and then you get back and then you filled up your store, so you need to start stashing your stuff in another settlement. So like the logistics, so the PVE clan, that's going to be really hardcore to run logistically. Because the amount of stuff that was being collected, it's going to be great for those that are doing the crafting and so on, but there will be an endless supply of materials to do that crafting. So the logistics management of that is going to be fairly epic.
And it's not to say that ultimately it's one big clan, right? So a couple months down the line, I also want to level up my crafting and all that sort of stuff. So it's just the early game to kind of be more efficient as a company, if that makes sense.
Ready, set, go kind of mentality. It's like, everybody kind of, eventually everybody will be both. Like everybody will be into the PvP and the crafting, and like eventually the second guild will just end up merging into just a big PvP. Like the PvP, the one thing I love about New World is it's very similar to, say, the likes of Dark Souls, where builds do matter. Of course, builds will always matter, but there's still a level of like skill that you need. And as far as the skill goes, it's very basic. The combat is very basic to the point where it's not like, World of Warcraft or something where you've got like 1,001 different skills you need to be researching. You need to be getting a calculator out and stuff like that, which I hope it doesn't go to, because I'm really bad at maths. So, like, I think that was one of the biggest parts of New World that I enjoyed was, for instance, when we were highly out-leveled and outnumbered, using actual strategies with a small group, you could take on a group bigger than you. And I think that in itself just shows. I don't think the game was fully balanced back in the preview, but I think it was on a nice path to be balanced. But who's saying what? Like when the game comes out, it's probably going to be one-sided either way, so it doesn't really matter to be fine.
Thanks for the follow, Nick. And Bricks has made a good point here, and I think one thing I'm keen to make people aware of, especially in our company, is that PvP isn't better than PvE, and PvE isn't less important than PvP. There's going to be we will require the PvE to do better in the PvP, and then the PvE side of it will require the PvP. And it's not. I'm not saying that as in PvP players and PvE players. I'm saying that as in like a terminology. So we need to be good at PvE as a clan, like everyone, to get our shit together for the PvP, and vice versa. Without the settlements to start bringing in this extra cash, maybe, or the cheaper teleporting or whatever it may be, and the fun with PvP. We need both of them to work hand in hand. So if anyone sort of comes across as that, I'm better than you because I'm better at PvP, fuck off, man. It's a 50v50 at the end of the day. Like, we need everyone together. So there shouldn't be that mentality in here. And I don't think there is, and I don't think there will be, but just kind of clearing it up for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And also, we found very quickly, look at how much grief we were getting on the server once we owned most of the settlements for not actually managing the towns properly. Yes, it was only a preview. It was 10 days, and we understand that. But, it was 10 days, and probably for about 8 of those days, we were getting a load of grief because we weren't upgrading the right, the right stalls inside the settlements and so on. So the PvE part underpins the PvP part because, like Kaney was saying, if anybody's, like for me, I started having to I had to PvE so that I could go and get my abilities up for making pots, because I was going through pots like I was drinking water. and you wouldn't upgrade the bloody potion stall, so I couldn't make the better tier pots that I needed to make. So you were just screwing over all the mages, and they're pretty important.
That's why I was trying to claim like 7 other territories.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's definitely the PV. Like I think the PVE ends up becoming much more important longer term because you need the logistics sorted out. Like everybody can go and hit things, but actually managing all the logistics behind that becomes really difficult. And besides, like chopping down trees for 24 hours is lovely.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that.
Omega One's made a point. Sorry, Ty, just quickly. Yes, it was during the preview a 24-hour cooldown after each upgrade, or 24 hours, 12 hours.
It was one, was it? It was wasn't it 3 upgrades though?
No, so every time, for example, if we upgraded cooking station from 1 to 2, we would have to wait 24 hours.
24 hours, yeah.
Until we could upgrade.
But you could also do could you not do a fort upgrade as well?
Yeah.
Or was it just?
But that's just, for example, upgrading our cannons to level 2. So the fort was fine. No one ever complained about that because we were right there. But yeah, the reason behind starting this show and New World Wednesdays every Wednesday night, even when the game releases, is that we're going to be trying to bring in people from the Marauders, whatever clan they're in, if we own Everfall, which hopefully we do, or some other towns, and they're like, fucking guys, why are you not upgrading cooking in Everfall? We can discuss it here and say, actually, we want to upgrade potions because we need potions for the wars and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to Tax's question, absolutely. You know, we've got, you know, we learned from the preview that the town management was a day job in itself. So we will absolutely be making sure that our sort of strategy for that is squared away while, you know, a load of people are out doing PvE and PvP. There'll be a few of us that will be crying into spreadsheets because it will turn very chaotic very quickly if it's not organized.
So I know we're kind of past our hour already. So Astrid, hello man, Kara, hello. We've already gone through the gameplay side of things tonight. We are basically going through some of the old notes from before. So anyway, back to fishing. Just what we all love. Our Sea of Thieves players love the fishing. Okay, just very briefly, added fish and new gathering skills. We know added a wide array of fish to all of the waters, fresh and salt, which I guess comes back to the cooking side of things, right? We can have different fish for different cooking stuff, which is where going back to the gathering and stuff would help. Fishing rods. What have I missed out on? Banana peddler food.
No, I was just fishing.
Added fishing hotspots to greatly increase the bite speed. Okay, blah blah. Standard stuff. Blah 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 blah.
Are you going to get some reading lessons before next week's episode?
No, I'm going to pass it off to you. You can.
Cool.
You can try. Yo, your voice is sounding.
His beard's getting in the way. That's all it is.
New threat system, eh?
I'm excited. Okay, so I'm excited for fishing. Right. This is why. I know we're not supposed to be talking about the latest patches yet, but in the patch notes, I'm sorry, it just has to be said because it's probably the most exciting part about that. The fish now actually have a rarity. So when you fillet a fish, it's going to have a certain rarity. Like that piece of meat is going to have a certain rarity.
Are we actually going to be filleting fish in the game?
Yes.
I hope so.
Setting up our own fish stall in Everfall.
We're going to open up a Michelin star fish restaurant.
I want animations in there. I want everything. I want it to be as immersive as possible when I'm fishing. Okay, because fishing is hard to get right in the game. Let me tell you. And when they do get it right, it's like the perfect pastime. You know, when you're waiting for all the lads to get online, and you're just like, what do I do? You're like, I'm gonna do some fishing. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna fish. So that whole thing with the rarity has got me excited for food, like the consumables side of it, and how the rarity will, you know, in turn make food buffs stronger. Hopefully. Tempest, I will be farming XP, don't worry.
Okay, so the elite enemy system. I don't actually remember reading this at all. So I'm going to do my best and try and read it to you guys. Don't take the piss out of me. All right. We want we want our elite and champion enemies to be more challenging and offer unique gameplay twists. The elite system allows us to assign 1 to 3 traits to enemies that vary gameplay. These can be specifically assigned or random. There are 3 categories of traits: offensive, defensive, utility, and we'll keep adding traits over time. Does that mean essentially if we repeat a world boss, there's a chance that it's gonna act differently, right? In layman's terms, for someone like me, that's what it means.
Yeah, well, that's what the word random means. It means it will change.
Shut up. Okay, but yeah, okay. So that's across the entire game, right? Not just ReekWater, I believe.
Yeah, I think what it's saying is you're not going to be able to rock up and apply the same tactic for taking down an elite every time. You're going to have to think about what you're doing because it's probably going to do things slightly differently the next time you encounter it.
Yeah, so for instance, you know those. Remember, we went to the Garden of Eden or whatever it's called. That spot in the middle of the map. It was a high level zone. I can't remember. Eden Grove, yeah. There was. Remember those elites we were fighting? That when you killed them, they'd explode and everything.
Yep.
Well, I'm guessing obviously with the utility side of that, they're gonna have different effects. So like, we might kill one of them, and whereas we'd be used to it exploding, maybe one time it just blows up and applies frost and slows you or something like that.
That's cool. That's a nice change for keeping us entertained, doing the same thing over and over again.
Keeps things different.
Difficulty for level 50 combat has been increased across the board. Please note this will require even more tuning moving forward. Okay, cool.
I like these targeted healing changes. I think it's really good because who I can't even remember who was healing in our lot. But I remember they were having an absolute. I remember they were having an absolute nightmare with XP and actually hitting people with heals and stuff. And I think these are good changes. Yeah, Toucan. It was Toucan that I remember spending a lot of time with, and he was going, "This just sucks." This is
Tempest and also. Is it possible to tank in New World with spells that apply aggro and I don't think it was it? I don't think there was actually any aggro like abilities, even for like the likes of Sword and Shield. I don't remember them. I don't remember there being one.
I don't remember there. I remember us always being in like again, top of Eden Grove, doing those bosses on the circular things, and they would just tend to be quite random who they went for and stuff. Yeah. Okay, do we want to go through these in detail or kind of just skim through it? Let's have a quick look. So we've added targeting system to make it easy for support players to heal their allies. When Healing Pulse or Divine Embrace are activated, the friendly player closest to the caster's reticle can be locked on. Pressing F mouse can cast a heal ability on the target. Target lock will disable after the cast is complete. Target lock can be switched to other friendly players by using mouse up and down. To be honest, it's actually good reading this. I had no fucking idea that this was possible.
Yeah.
Target lock can be switched to manual targeting by pressing the mouse button wheel. Lock can also be cancelled. Okay, cool. Users can also self-cast healing spells holding control and pressing the ability key. Awesome. Okay. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Great.
Critical hits. Good changes for the likes.
Yeah.
For the likes of the healers, because obviously everybody. That's the one. I think it was Toucan actually that literally got really upset one night playing the playtest because he's just trying to heal people in one of the fights, in the PvP fights, and he got so frustrated that he just couldn't land the spells properly, like 80% of the time or whatever. But it does make sense. It would be frustrating to want to play that role, and they didn't really. So that right there is a big help.
Bananas just made a point. A lot of this is undone in the latest patch, but we will get there. These things might be conflicted from the current state. So,
but that's because we've gone back. We've gone back to the future, haven't we?
For sure, yeah.
We've gone the future to the back.
What we'll do is we'll kind of skip through the rest of the weapon changes and balance changes. Let's try and find something exciting to talk about that's quite new. We don't need to know about additional nameplates. That's just the quality of life. Happy. You can now pin 6 quests instead of 3. Happy days. ability quality of life. The weapon mastery tutorial for the characters has been tuned slightly to make it more clear how to build it. Okay, great. Visual effects have been added. Lovely. Okay, well, that's kind of the ReekWater update. We can fish. There's new things happening. We're opening up a fish stall inside Everfall.
I think that's the key takeaway. There's fishing, and more fishing.
And more fish.
And then apparently, according to Ties, there's fillet fishing. And then we'll be opening a seafood restaurant in Everfall. Everybody's welcome for fish fingers.
It'll be called Tidy's Tasty Treats. There you go. It's going to be a fish shop.
Mate, that's a solid name. That is a great name. Is fishing in safe areas or is it everywhere PvP? So there is essentially a toggle on, toggle off PvP feature. So when you're in a town, you can choose whether you want to be in PvP or not in PvP. So you can fish anywhere in complete safety if you do not toggle on PvP. What happened in the preview was that you essentially had an XP buff for having PvP on. Unsure if fishing is worth to do PvP tags. Maybe you get more XP for your collecting your fish, but who knows?
No, the loot doesn't change because that would be. I don't think. I mean, it was just the XP game, wasn't it? Was the only reason you would stay PvP flagged while you were out and about.
And absolute glory.
Yeah, but the point is, if you're running around in like a grass skirt with a silly like horticulturist outfit on because you want to go and pick hemp like I did, you don't want PvP flagging on because it ruins picking the flowers, and picking flowers is nice.
It's true because again, back to like the recent patch, they're talking about how the luck food and luck armor is going to have much more benefit than what it did in the past.
I mean, it was pretty good in the preview. So like I had I had a fully stacked horticulturist outfit, and I had buffs on all of the items and on my harvesting blade. So when I went out and did 2 days of solid hemp gathering to get my gathering up, I was trying to get it to 300. I was getting some really good drops just because of the amount of luck I had on my gear. So yeah,
it works. All right. Well, I mean, to be honest, I'm kind of happy to wrap it up there. I think I was pretty nervous, to be honest, about coming in and getting this done, but I appreciate all you guys joining in and coming and say hi. I'm happy to hang around and get involved, and if some of you guys who have some more questions, I've seen there's a few coming in actually, we can hang about and chat some more and just log off as and when we need to. But officially, thank you for joining, Ped.
Yeah,
I love you. Thanks again. Appreciate it.
Cool.
No worries. Thanks very much, guys.
Day 1, week 1 of Pirate Gaming New World Wednesday.
That's it.
Glorious.
So again, every Wednesday, the plan is every Wednesday we're going to be doing something like this where we will have a rough schedule of what we want to talk about. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, every Wednesday get involved and we'll use it more as a clan meeting, but in an open environment. So yeah, thanks boys.